The dodo, a bird that never learned to fly but mastered the art of living in peace. Until humans arrived. Endemic to the island of Mauritius in the Indian Ocean, the dodo lived in isolation for centuries. No predators, no hurry, no fear. About a meter tall, with a curved beak and a clumsy charm that made it look like nature's inside joke. When Europeans landed in the 1500s, they brought rats, dogs, and pigs, enemies the dodo had never known. Its ground nests were destroyed, its young devoured, and the birds hunted without resistance. In less than a century, it was gone. No rescue, no second chance. But its name remained. Today, the dodo stands for extinction itself, and for innocence. A reminder that isolation can be paradise, until curiosity finds it. The dodo didn't die because it was weak. It died because it never had a reason to fear. And that, perhaps, is the cruelest fate of all. The woolly mammoth, the frozen giant of the Ice Age, a shaggy ghost that once ruled the tundra. Over 3 meters tall, with ivory tusks curling nearly 4 meters long, its body was built for cold survival. Layers of fat, long hair, and blood thicker than that of modern elephants. For tens of thousands of years, mammoths thrived across the Arctic. They grazed the frozen plains in colossal herds. Then, the climate changed, and humans appeared. The combination was fatal. Warming destroyed their pastures, and hunters armed with spears and patience finished the job. The last known herd survived on a Siberian island until about 1700 years ago, when the Egyptian pyramids already stood. Today, scientists are trying to bring the mammoth back through genetic engineering. But even if they succeed, the icy empire it called home has melted forever. The Tasmanian tiger, or thylacine, was a striped marsupial predator, part wolf, part zebra, entirely misunderstood. It hunted kangaroos and small mammals across Australia and Tasmania, carrying its young in a pouch like a kangaroo. Its powerful jaws and shy nature made it a quiet ruler of its land. When European settlers arrived in the 1800s, fear replaced wonder. Farmers blamed it for killing sheep, and the government paid bounties for every carcass. Guns, traps, and poison did what nature never could. They erased it. The last thylacine died in 1936 in a zoo, locked outside its shelter on a cold night. Forgotten, it froze to death, the final member of its kind. Even now, people claim to spot it in the Tasmanian wilderness. None confirmed. But maybe that's how legends survive, when memory becomes stronger than proof. The elephant bird. Imagine an ostrich the size of a rhino, laying eggs that could feed an entire family. It was the largest bird ever to walk the earth. Native to Madagascar, it stood nearly 10 feet tall and weighed over 800 pounds. Flightless but calm, it roamed thick forests, feeding on fruit and leaves. Then humans came. 1,000 years ago, fire, farming, and hunger followed them. The bird's eggs, each weighing 20 pounds, became easy meals, and its forests burned. Within centuries, it vanished. Only fragments of bones and shells remain, and a legend too large to forget. Locals still whisper about it, as if it sleeps beneath the soil. And perhaps, in a way, it does. A titan fossilized in memory, reminding us that even giants can fall quietly. The moa, a mountain of feathers that once strode across New Zealand's valleys. No wings, no predators, no fear. Until man arrived. There were 9 species, some standing over 11 feet tall. Their only enemy was the Haast's eagle, a raptor so powerful it could take down full-grown moa. Then came the Maori, less than 800 years ago. For them, the moa was an endless feast. Within a few generations, it was gone. Without the moa, the Haast's eagle vanished too. A chain of extinction triggered by hunger. The strangest part? It happened while castles already stood in Europe. Today, their bones still hold traces of DNA, and some dream of bringing them back. But perhaps they deserve their rest. Giants devoured not by beasts, but by human appetite. The Saber-Toothed Tiger, a predator sculpted for legend. Its fangs, long as hunting knives, could reach 8 inches, gleaming like ivory blades. The Smilodon ruled the Americas during the last ice age. Thick-necked, muscle-bound, and built for ambush. It hunted bison, giant sloths, even young mammoths. But strength can be a trap. The Smilodon depended on large prey, and when climate change wiped them out, hunger finished what the ice began. Its fossils, found in the La Brea tar pits, show broken bones and healed scars, proof that even the fiercest beast could suffer and survive. Eventually, the king of the Ice Age fell, not to another predator, but to time itself, the one hunter that never stopped stalking. The Smilodon's roar was the last echo of an age when power alone meant survival, and when it faded, mankind began to rule. The Megalodon, the largest predator ever to swim the oceans. A shark 60 feet long, 3 times the size of a great white, with jaws strong enough to crush a car. Its teeth, nearly 7 inches long, still wash ashore as relics of fear. From 23 to 3 million years ago, it ruled the seas, hunting whales and dolphins with terrifying grace. Then the oceans cooled. Prey moved into icy waters and the Megalodon's empire collapsed. Yet its legend endures. Modern sightings of giant sharks stir imaginations, feeding the myth that it still lurks below. Maybe not. Or maybe the deep still keeps secrets as old as our fear of being eaten. The Rodrigues Solitaire, cousin of the famous Dodo, shared the same fate, wiped out by hunger and human hands. It lived only on Rodrigues Island, with strong legs, a broad chest, and stubby wings used for balance, peaceful, flightless, and curious. Then came the sailors. They hunted it easily, while rats and pigs devoured its eggs. Within a century, the solitaire was gone. The saddest part? Humanity had already lost the dodo just a few islands away. The warning was there, and ignored. The Rodrigues Solitaire is more than an extinction story. It's a reflection, proof that our species doesn't learn from tragedy, only repeats it. The Aurochs, the wild ancestor of modern cattle, a beast of muscle and horn that once thundered through Europe's forests. Massive, fierce, and revered, they were hunted by kings and painted on cave walls. As agriculture spread, their forests shrank. The last Aurochs died in 1627 in Poland, killed by hunger and humanity. But its blood remains in every cow and ox on Earth. Scientists now attempt to breed it back through genetic selection, recreating the primordial bull. Yet maybe its real legacy isn't in being revived, but in what it teaches. That domination always begins with extinction. The quagga, half zebra, half horse, as if nature forgot to finish painting it. Stripes in the front, golden brown in the back. A living gradient between wild and tame. It roamed South Africa's plains in peaceful herds until settlers arrived. Seen as competition for cattle, it was hunted relentlessly. By 1883, it was gone. The last quagga died in a zoo in Amsterdam. Unnoticed, unrecorded, unremembered. Only later did scientists realize it was a unique subspecies of zebra. By then, only bones and faded pelts remained. Efforts today aim to recreate its appearance through selective breeding. But the lesson it leaves behind is deeper than its stripes. Extinction doesn't always come with fire or flood. Sometimes it happens quietly, while we look away. The great auk, the penguin of the north, flightless, sleek, and perfectly built for the icy Atlantic. It once filled the shores of Iceland and Canada in the millions. Then humans came. Sailors hunted it for meat and oil, then traders for feathers. Finally, collectors paid fortunes for its body. The last pair was killed in 1844 while guarding their single egg. The egg was crushed, the birds taken as trophies. And then, silence. Today, the great auk stands frozen behind museum glass, a stuffed reminder of when abundance felt infinite. The Pyrenean Ibex, a mountain goat that died twice. Strong, nimble, with spiral horns, and a body carved for cliffs. Hunted and starved by habitat loss, it dwindled to one. A female named Celia, found dead beneath a fallen tree in 2000. Then, science intervened. Using her frozen cells, researchers cloned her in 2003. The clone was born, breathed, and died minutes later. It became the first extinct animal ever resurrected, if only for a moment. The Pyrenean Ibex stands as a symbol of both hope and guilt. Science can bring back a heartbeat, but not a home. The woolly rhinoceros, an armored giant of the Ice Age, a living fortress draped in fur. Weighing up to 3 tons, it roamed the tundra beside mammoths and saber-toothed cats, scraping snow to find grass. Then the world warmed, and humans followed with spears. By 10,000 years ago, it was gone, but its echo remains. Because history is repeating itself. The northern white rhino, its modern cousin, is almost gone. Only 2 females survive, Najin and Fatu. guarded around the clock in Kenya. No males left. Scientists raced to save the species with frozen DNA and artificial fertilization. The woolly rhino died at the end of the Ice Age. The northern white rhino dies at the dawn of the human one. One vanished by nature, the other by us. The echo between them is deafening. The Ili Pika, a tiny creature from China's Tian Shan Mountains, seen only a handful of times since 1983. It looks like a mix between a rabbit and a teddy bear, with round ears and a curious face. Living over 13,000 feet high, it stores flowers for the long winters. But warming temperatures are pushing it higher each decade, and there's nowhere left to climb. Fewer than 1,000 are thought to remain, if any at all. Li Weidong, the biologist who discovered it, spent years searching. When he finally saw one again in 2014, he said it was like meeting an old friend at the end of his life. The Ili Pika is small, but its message is enormous. Extinction today doesn't come from spears or traps, but from heat, the kind we created ourselves. See in the next video, Kenneth Arnold, a civilian pilot flying over the Cascade Mountains, June 24, 1947. The day was clear, the sky pristine, and then he saw them. 9 metallic objects moving in formation, darting through the air like saucers skipping on water.